according to the standards of freaking like the Federal Trade Commission and stuff, they can't display themselves doing drugs on TV in public television. So instead, you give him the doobie, but the other person's talking, and then you move it. But it should have been obvious because it was like smoke and stuff. And
it was obvious.
I never got it. I was so innocent. I was like,
yeah, you were a good kid.
I just thought it was like a cool like transition. Like, how are we gonna make conversations cool? But no, they were doing drugs, and I was like, and of course they were right there giggling and all stupid and shit. And I thought that was just like them being goofy.
You're like, I can't wait to have buddies like that, and I'll definitely be the one with the smoke machine.
Yeah, like it was just like the basement, and I was like, why do they get goofy sometimes, and then sometimes they're like normal, and well, I guess that's just how like they enjoy their time together in the 70s. And I'm like, no.
Well, yeah, that's exactly how they enjoyed themselves in the 70s.
Pussy. I guess I'm in the 70s now.
Welcome everybody. We're on the Warrior Poet Show, hosted by yours truly, and I got my co-host to the right. How you doing?
Thomas Sanchez. I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Yeah. We made a few episodes. You brought the Holy Bible. You said that I need an exorcism or something. So
yeah, I couldn't find somebody to do it for me, so I'm gonna give it a crack. See how I can do.
Okay, let's go. What's the topic? What's the thing?
Well, we were discussing earlier duality, and how I struggle with understanding things because I'm just generalizing, but at the same time, it's like, what do I believe in if there's an opposite truth? I guess that's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, because one thing that I do is I look at people, and I notice their physical features. So I notice your canines. I notice like your hair. You're a primate, and I kind of see you as a primate, and I see everyone as a primate. But it's not just you. You're not special. Everyone's monkey except for me. I'm sacred. But everyone I look at, I see them as primates, and they're fighting this carnal, primitive, kill, hunt, conquer, with their like spiritual, aesthetic. Oh, I'm gonna read Shakespeare's ninth whatever, and it's just like there is that duality of man in that you do have canines, like literal canines. They're meant to like decimate some meat,
Right.
But when's the last time you killed an animal and
Well, I didn't kill him. I didn't cook him. But last week I ate a bone-in ribeye for my stepfather's birthday. So I was delighted that I had canines, and I came from primates, as you say, chimps, I believe. And you know what's funny? That we're touching base on this. Last episode that posted, Leon posed a question. Hey, man, do you believe we come from chimps or primates? And I said, look, man, because we're about to get into some biblical shit if we start discussing this,
Yeah.
Because there's the people that believe we evolved, and there's the people that that believe that we always were, and unfortunately, there's no proof of Adam and Eve, but there is plenty of proof to suggest at least that we are descendants of animals such as chimps.
Well, let me make a greater suggestion. I come to you, and on the table there's 3 items. The first item, it's a little birdhouse made out of wood, small little cute pink nails that I had. So it's a little birdhouse, right? In the middle, it's like a charcuterie board with pink little nails. It's like a piece of wood that you like display your fancy food in, and you come and, oh, here's some cheese or whatever, right? And now the third item it's what I call like a stint. You put it on this side and this side, and it has a little cute pink nail, and it like prevents your finger from moving whenever it's broken.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say about the 3 items?
That you put a lot of emphasis on the fact that there's a lot of pink stuff.
Well, a good conclusion would be this motherfucker for some reason uses pink nails in all his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He probably built all 3 of these items. And that's kind of how I see God and the question you're posing, if we came from apes, because I look at the DNA evidence of a tomato, and it's made out of the same pink nails as my fleshy skin, but I'm nowhere near a tomato. I look at funguses, I look at viruses, I look at single-celled organisms as well as chimpanzees, as well as all these, every life form, every tree, every leaf, everything that is alive that I could define as life, that moves, that crawls, that looks for food, that does all this stuff, and it's made out of the same pink nails as I am.
Yeah, man, but you're talking about stardust and meteorites that came from millions and millions of years ago. I stand behind that too, you know.
Well, no, I think you're misinterpreting because I'm not talking about stardust and meteorites.
Well, I mean, we all had some sort of and I'm definitely talking out of place here, but we all are made of like carbon shit, man. I wish I could Google this right now.
But it's more like pink nails. It's not just it's a thing made out of wood. No, it's the pink nails that are special.
And I understand the metaphor.
Yeah, it's God. It's
but I mean,
the designer.
You cannot tell me that like a cat is somewhat related to a fucking dog. You know, they're different species. You know, and so what I'm talking about is that we're very closely related to this specific species rather than a fucking dog.
You're closer in mentality and ability to a golden retriever than you are on a gorilla. A gorilla seems very near you, but intelligence-wise, able to follow commands, follow in a group, you know, stuff like that. I think your mentality is more like a golden retriever than it is a gorilla. A gorilla, if you see how they actually act.
Yeah. But you're talking about temperament now. Like you're deviating from like the simple fact that we have determined that there is this faction of animals that are very similar to us, and I'm talking about chimps, right? Not gorillas, but I mean they're all cut from the same cloths, you know. So we could be considered a great ape as well, correct?
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So the question's weird for me because it's like, did we come for gorillas? And I'm like, I think we did come from the same stock. We came from the same builder with his pink nails.
What if we're completely wrong and these same chimps and gorillas were altered by aliens, you know? What if they dropped their seed into each thing that they wanted to experiment with, and we're the product of that? What if, you know, like, the reason I post this stupid question is because I want everyone listening to keep their mind open as we proceed.
Don't worry, I got the answer to that. Also, you need to read L. Ron Hubbard's book.
Okay. Duly noted.
You would know about Scientology and stuff, so that's
of course
that's what Scientologists believe that like some space battle conflict
so it's
happened.
a real religion.
Yes,
it's a real doctrine.
It's a huge religion.
Wow.
So
there you guys have
they
it.
believe that there were space battles up in the solar systems and stuff, and as punishment for the loser, they took your alien soul and came to Earth and punished you by putting it into a monkey, and that's why you're here. You're in jail. You're in cosmic jail, and your soul can't be released until you die. And your punishment is you have to live a whole life in this monkey suit.
By the way, I am a Christian, you know, so obviously the concept of Scientology goes way over my head. I you know what? It's not about the fact that like you can argue the Jesus Christ situation and every single thing that you could. There's thousands and thousands of points that are very, very impactful in the Holy Bible that you could look at and be like, this sounds like fucking fiction. This looks like George R.R. Martin wrote it.
Yeah.
Why isn't this on Game of Thrones?
Yeah. And
you know, but it's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if Jesus doesn't exist. It doesn't matter if nobody died on the cross. It's a concept.
Yeah.
It's the message.
Yeah, it's like saying I watched The Lion King, but I wasn't moved to like reclaim my kingdom because it's just a Disney movie. So, and I don't know. I know Simba doesn't really exist.
Are you stalking me, dude?
Oh, all the time,
dude,
like, constantly,
dude. Because you have already pinpointed several things, and like literally, I just watched The Lion King, and it did move me to reclaim my kingdom.
Oh wow,
I'm serious, dude. I'm fucking serious.
Oh,
like,
I'm serious. Also, like it's as if I fucking read this shit. It's as if I read a book, and I'm like, oh, that's what Jesse's going through nowadays.
I call it a coincidence, man. But you know, like the way Simba gets down in the dumps and in a rut because his father got murdered in front of him, and then he got exiled from his home, and then he found this pair rather of hippies, and they Hakuna Matata his philosophy, and next thing you know, he's not thinking about royalty duties, he's not thinking about responsibility, he's not anything. Everything's so smooth sailing and chill, you know. But that's when shit hits the fan, and I noticed that in my life. Like whenever I try to just smoke a doobie and not think about shit, it's when shit gets out of hand. You need to fucking always keep your fucking finger on the trigger, man. Like, because you never know.
So it's with so many coincidences, you're eventually gonna say that all those wooden structures, and they all have pink nails, it probably came from the same dude. You know, you're not gonna look at all those pink structures and be all like, I bet that's a Monet. I bet that's a whatever. You're gonna be like, no, it's the same asshole who paints all his nails pink. That's his touch, and I think God's touch is in our DNA, and I think it plays perfectly well. I don't think it contradicts.
Yeah, I do feel special, just for the simple fact that I am not a caterpillar eaten by a fucking bird, or I'm not an ant being stomped on by an asshole like me. I am me, you know. I am blessed to be human and have this human experience, and we seldom ever and I'm barely doing this, okay, guys. I'm not. I don't have a moral high ground or anything like that. I'm just as flawed, you know. But just speaking about it makes me realize, like, how, like you told me, how beautiful is this life? And you know what? It's so crazy because it was coming from you.
You're the ugliest motherfucker I know, and you're talking about beauty? Fuck off.
Oh my God, dude. You're full of shit, dude. I'm trying to give you props.
Yeah.
Because, like, you understand what the ugliness in life is, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean...
But that's the duality. You have to understand the ugliness.
Yes, exactly.
In order to see the deep beauty.
But for a second there, I almost felt like you were never going to see the beauty in anything, you know? I just felt like everything was shit to you, and everyone was evil, and everybody had this, you know? And you did have a catalyst. You did have deliverance from such shackles, you know, that really ultimately just shut your mind to the unlimited potential that you possess, you know?
Well, in the Bible, there's a place where he's walking about, and he comes to a fruit tree, a fig tree, and the fig tree doesn't have any figs, and he says, "Cursed are you, you will never give figs again." And then he goes into like the temple and whips a few people, and then on their way out, fleeing the temple because they're about to like kill him and stuff, the fig tree is just withered and destroyed and dead. And I think it's a very good verse, because it's like, was Jesus mad that the fig tree didn't have figs? It's like, no, he's a man from the Middle East. He knows exactly when the season is. But immediately after, he gives the sermon of have good fruits in season and out of season, because, you know, when the master comes, he'll be furious if you haven't produced anything. And it's just like, that's the same answer. The whole me in despair, me in whatever. It's like, yeah, it was out of season, and I need to try to be more in season all the time.
Dude, you're blooming, and I'm so glad that we grew apart for a split second, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm able to appreciate the contrast. You know, I didn't see you step by step gradually becoming who you are now. You know, like from one moment to the next, you're a totally different person, and even in your vibes, even in your energy. You know, it used to be dark, dude, dark, and people resonate or they pick up on it. You understand? And I'm an antenna, you know, like I feel, what is the word? Empath?
Empath?
Yeah, like sometimes sure. I could be in a room full of people and I feel drained, you know, whatever the fuck that means, right? But I don't know, dude. You just seem more ethereal now.
Yeah, it's the bouquet of roses did not look that good on February 10th, but on February 14th they bloomed, and they were good enough to sell for a high price to woo your lover into loving you on Valentine's. And in the same way, it's just like the song says, it's como it's like the flowers that hide the ugly dirt underneath, you know? Well, if there wasn't that ugly dirt, how would the flowers bloom? it'd be very difficult.
Right. And there's also, again, like, I'm connecting dots as we transition from this conversation, and you reap what you sow.
Yeah.
You know, and we forget that we will be held accountable one way or another, because, okay, the Holy Bible, the Catholic Church, Rome, the Vatican, or even just Christianity as a whole, it doesn't jive with you. Fine. Karma. What is the whole concept of karma? You're gonna fucking pay your dues, dog. No matter what. And I'll tell you what. In my life, I've always felt this impending sensation that no matter how slick I think I am, I'm never gonna get away with it, because even if you don't know I wronged you, I'm gonna get fucked over one way or another, and that's always gonna be in my head until it happens, and then I understand this is why.
And that's the fear of God. There's an analogy. A man went out on a boat to catch some fish, and in the morning he got his net, he threw it out upon the water to catch some fish, and then he said, I need to leave it for a while, I'll sleep. He went to sleep. He woke up. He's like, no one knows I'm out here, and if I only catch a little, that's enough. I'll just sleep again. He falls asleep, and then he wakes up, and he's like, I'll just wait till sundown, and then I'll say my day's done. He was supposed to be fishing all day. He wasn't. He was just lazy all day, right? Well, when he pulls up the net, there might be a few fish in it, but there's a lot of, like, seaweed in it and stuff, and he was ruined the net. The net was supposed to, like, just capture fish real quick, but now he's destroyed the net, which in the ancient times is a super complicated technology. Like, they cost a lot. Yeah. Like, he fucked up because of his laziness, and now, though he can eat today, and maybe tomorrow he won't, you know? And that analogy kind of goes with what you're saying, because it's, you could throw your net, and it could give you some fish, but if you're lazy and you don't use its potential, you're going to ruin that net, and what was once for your safety, health, and well-being has now been corrupted and attacked by fish and stuff, and now it's broken completely.
The way I can correlate what you're saying with the days of today is, I've been going from place to place, and of course I'm gonna always bitch about everything, right? And I've already spoken about this, like, I feel like the pandemic situation has completely dismantled the workforce, so everybody is subpar, and they're operating with the bare minimums, because they understand that the employers need the employees now more than ever, because times are horrible, etc. And man, these motherfuckers really, really, really take advantage, because I order something through the phone, and I wait even an hour, and I'm scared, dude. I'm hauling ass to the fucking restaurant, because I'm like, holy fucking shit, I forgot, and it's been an hour, so my food must be cold, right?
Yeah.
I get there, and they're like, oh, it's not ready yet, and I'm like, what do you mean it's not ready? I called through the phone. But give me 10. It's almost out in 10 minutes, and I've used that phrase before. I know that 10 minutes is you forgot my order.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I gave them the courtesy of the 10 minutes, and then 15 minutes pass, 20 minutes pass. And my sister dares me, and this was on my end, it was completely a joke, and I saw it as a dare, right? But she dares me to go talk to the manager and tell him what's what, And I did, dude. I'm not a Karen, but I pulled out the Karen out of my ass. I don't know. I didn't know this side of me.
Little blonde strands started growing.
Fucking A, dude. Like, my bangs grew a little, and then my car turned into a minivan.
You had a Zodiac tattoo appear magically right here.
And then on my trans time, I have God. Only God can judge me. Yeah. I mean, I had the whole thing going for me, right? And so I'm like, may I speak to the manager, please? And the chick is like, okay, yeah. Because I went up to her, and then she's like, oh, 10 more minutes or 5 more minutes. I'm like, no. I'm like, that's fine. Let me talk to the manager. And then the guy's in the back, so God knows what the fuck he's doing in the back, knowing that there's fucking orders pending, right? I mean, because I've been in leadership positions, and I understand that, like, when there's no work, when there's no orders, or whatever the fuck you're doing. You can go to the back and you can text. The crew, they can fuck around a little, right?
Yeah.
But when there's fucking orders and there's shit that needs to get done, I'm gonna make sure it gets done. If not by me, it's gonna get done by somebody else, and I'm gonna delegate it.
Yeah.
You know. So I told him this. I'm like, listen, man, that's fine. Like, I know the food's it's almost ready, as you say. But the point is that I called you an hour ago. What have you been doing this whole hour? Oh, it's because it takes a while to fry the chicken with. I'm like, brother, don't even go there, because I worked at places where I have a fryer and I do and I fry wings. I know that it's from 7 to 14 minutes.
Yeah, you drop that shit. Hurry up.
Exactly. You know, and the order's big. Okay, fine. If it's big and it's through the phone, you should have done it quick, you know?
Yeah.
That was you could have had everything done in 30 minutes. Why has it been an hour and 30 minutes? That's my question. And then he walks away, dude. And this was not scripted. This was not part of my plan. I was just trying to, like, give him a pointer, you know? Like, I was like, I just want leadership. Yeah. I was just trying to plant the seed in his mind if he was going to stay in a leadership position, you know? And he turns away from me and walks away, right? As I'm speaking. And I'm like, hey, brother, I'm not done. I'm still talking. And then he's like, I know, I'm getting your food. I'm like, forget about the food, bro. I already fucking waited an hour, 30 minutes. That can wait. Now you need to come back and I need to tell you something. And I was like, first of all, I don't understand why you're walking away from a customer who's just trying to give you a good pointer or just trying to give you some advice. And my mother and sister says, I was so embarrassed. The whole restaurant was looking at you.
Well, it's funny because that manager has options. He probably thinks in the back of the mind, I don't need this fucking job. I don't need this fucking Karen. This isn't a PTA meeting. Fuck this Mexican ass Karen over here. Like, fuck his food. I'm just gonna throw whatever in the bag and shove it in his dumbass face. And it's just like the reason he's lacks resilience or leadership or discipline or the ability to, you know, do his job properly within an hour and something minutes is because he has options. Options lead to laziness. Options lead to, it's like one of those old sayings, the true freedom is slavery to self. Or whatever.
And that's so upsetting. And I'm 100% standing by what you just said, because this is like the Tinder's generation. We have options.
Oh,
you know? Plenty of options. Everyone has options. Like you say, there's no reason to not get laid nowadays, you know?
Yeah, look at what the fuck we're doing. This is like a multi-million-dollar movie production bullshit, you know? But
who would have thought, you know? Like even a couple of years ago, that's a little too short, but 8 years ago, 10 years ago, can you imagine yourself being able to say, I'm going to start a fucking podcast, you know, and make it sound good and look good?
So I believed when I was a kid, one day I'm going to be super, super fucking rich, and I'm going to get a television that I could carry around with me so I could watch The Simpsons at 5 o'clock. And guess what, motherfucker? Where is it? I don't know. I dropped my phone somewhere. But I got it. I got a television that I could watch The Simpsons at 5 o'clock. But my mind was still like, the ultimate goal is that I'll be able to tune into K-Fox and be like, ooh, it's The Simpsons. You know, that was my...
And you know what? I bet you, as grandiose as it sounded in your head, you had no idea how unlimited it was really going to be in the end. You could watch the same fucking episode 20, 100 times, as much as you want.
No commercials.
Exactly. Can you imagine telling yourself, like 5-year-old, not even 5-year, I keep getting my timelines wrong. 8-year-old you, like, hey man, like, you could watch all of this nonstop, no commercials? You're gonna be like, that's not fair.
And you know what I feel like now? I feel like it's cheap. When I was a kid, I was like, there's this whole thing about me getting money to, like, get the new Zelda game. Now I have like 7 devices over there that have all the games ever made known to man on them, and I'm just like...
And that begs the question, right? Like, everybody who's in the rat race, so to speak, and they're just trying to make it in life and be an entrepreneur or a millionaire, just make the big bucks, right? Big house, lots of bitches, whatever your dream is, like it involves a lot of money, right? So it begs the question, I digress, like, it most likely will be that, like, that's not going to bring you happiness, you know, like, because, like, time and time again, we see that, like, if you have a surplus of anything, it's automatically invaluable, you know? And so And I think that's why like iPhone, like the iPhone product is so popular, you know, and it keeps getting more expensive, you know, because everyone wants to get in on the iPhone fucking shit, and Apple's like, we have to stay, and it's Gucci, it's Versace, it's luxury. That's what it is, you know, but it's just what's it's just materialism, you know. And
A Gucci bag does not work as well as one that you could get from Urban Outfitters. You could get a bag from Urban Outfitters that fucking will last you your entire life and your children's life, or you could get a, you know, Gucci, Vuitton, whatever, and it's like, don't scratch it, you know.
yeah, and I feel like, I mean, at some point you're gonna people who buy Gucci bags are probably like going through them like paper bags, so like it's probably not like that. Like if I got a Lamborghini, I wouldn't want to fucking drive it because I'd be like, oh, it's gonna get scratched. I don't want to go to the grocery store. I don't want to, you know what I mean? Yeah. But if I'm rich as fuck and I can afford a Lamborghini, then I don't give a fuck because I can afford another one. Yeah, that's the whole point.
You don't get out of your Toyota Echo and take the keys. Like, the windows are down, the keys are in there. Like, fuck, like, please steal this shit if you can figure out how to drive it, because I barely got it working.
Yeah, I feel like you were like, I have an opportunity to get in this massive car wreck. I might die, but as long as I get rid of this fucking piece of shit,
yeah, I'm down. No air conditioner, no nothing. Fuck
Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah, like, no music, no radio, no air conditioner, no. You're just like, fuck this. Like, I think I'll get more money off of like the disability payment than I'll get off of this piece of shit.
And it was a nice car, dude. I mean, I liked it. It was quirky. Maybe I'm overstating the nice part, but it was quirky. It was reliable. It got through your whole, basically your whole adult life, and now you have the 2.0 version of it. Apparently, you couldn't go a different route. You had to stay on character, right?
Hey, it worked. Like, fuck that thing. Everyone had cars and crashed cars and got a new car and crashed a car and got a new car and fucking destroyed that car, and that one didn't do what it, and mine was still like
what's up, guys?
Yeah, freaking no one could drive it because it's standard, but it's like the worst standard in the world.
That was the first time I drove a standard, you know. No. It was good times in that car, man. That's all I can say.
Have it broken down, and it's okay, you stalled. It's just press the little triangle and get the fuck out of the middle of the freeway. God damn it.
Yeah, I would feel bad every time I would skip a gear or some shit like that. Yeah. Or stalling that, and it was so annoying. Like after the third stalling, I'm like, okay, bro, here's your fucking car back. I give up.
Yeah, fuck your bullshit. But no, it's if we limit our options, we appreciate it. If we can't have eggnog all year long, then when they start selling it, we're gonna buy a bottle. But think of all the products at the store that you used to love. But when's the last time you fucking bought a fucking Twix bar, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Why is that?
Like a Babe Ruth? What the fuck is that?
I got a Payday.
Ooh.
2 of them, actually. So you gotta get the 2 for $4.
Well, that too.
You have to.
Because the big size used to be like a big one. You're like, fuck, I could have that all to myself. And my dad would be like, no, you have to share it with your brother and you'd break it. But now you go and it's like, I could buy 10 of them.
Whatever the fuck I want. And it's so weird, dude. It's so, now that you mentioned that too, like, it's so fucking bizarre to me that, like, as a child, I'm like, man, I wish I could just do whatever the fuck I want. And now that I can do whatever the fuck I want, I'm not doing the things that I wanted to do then, you know? Like yeah. Stuffing my, what? I have a sweet tooth. So that's kind of one of my weaknesses, you know, candy, Mexican candy, chocolate, you name it, I'll eat it, you know, but I am an adult now, and I can most definitely do that on a daily basis, and if I wanted to, and I don't.
Oh yeah, it's going to Peter Piper used to be like, oh my god, the greatest day in the world, and now you go and you're like, oh, these pizzas are expensive, and I'm not gonna actually play any of these stupid fucking games.
To be honest, dude, I do go because, you know, children, but to me it's more fun seeing the little ones have fun, but in reality I'm just there like, oh my god, like, forget all of this shit, you know. But I did go to Western Playland recently, Saturday.
Did you get your tetanus shot before or after?
I'd rather not disclose that. I don't want to talk about vaccines and stuff.
fucking tetanus shot. Yeah, how was it?
It was fucking fun, dude. But you know, I gotta give my review on the amusement park. I'm gonna go ahead and go do Six Flags next week.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. I'm just kidding, but I have to say, they have 3 solid rides, and then the rest is just spinning shit. Like, why do you have so much spinning shit? Like, what are you trying to prove? You know, like that I can't hang? Yeah, I cannot fucking get drunk from spinning and then continue being a father and holding down. You know what I mean? Like,
You like Pharaoh's Fury, you
Uh-huh.
like the Himalayan,
no, I fucking hate the
and
Himalaya.
you like the tsunami.
The tsunami's nice. It's romantic.
Oh,
Yeah, I went with a love interest,
mm-hmm.
and yeah, we kissed as the water was splashing.
Oh wow.
And I had to keep my eyes open, like one eye open at least, so I could like see, like, oh, it looked badass, dude. Like, whoosh, like I'm like, in the movie, I would have both my eyes closed, but like, oh my god, that whole like, oh my god, like the water just enveloped us, you know, like so beautifully. I felt like, who is that biblical character who's
Moses.
Moses?
Parts the water.
I felt like Moses, like Moses.
Fuck, bro. Like, fine, marry her, I guess. Like, if you're seeing fucking God part the seas, then what the fuck is your
Listen,
option?
man. I would marry her, but she doesn't want to marry me. So like, I cannot fucking point a gun at her and be like, hey, you don't have a choice, bitch. You
Well,
know?
if she don't want to marry you, then it's over, right?
Yeah, it is. So what is your point? Thank you for reminding me.
My point is, I am glad that God parted the seas and made little amusement parks that dictate the little Bible experiences, but you experience it a bit differently.
It's all perspective, I guess, but my perspective is always going to be uncanny. That's what I've noticed. Whether you agree with me or you don't. Talking about perspectives, dude. And I am not proud of this Instagram. But it was funny, you know, like I got drunk. I went to Pockets to play pool with my dad. Man, he's a fucking wizard. He's a fucking wizard. But that's besides the point. So I had a tall glass of Blue Moon. Blue Moon gets you fucked up. And then 2 Jack and Cokes. The first one got me groovy, you know. I felt frosty. I stayed frosty the whole time. And I was leaving and I asked for the tab. And I was like, you know what, brother? You're going to hate me for this, but keep the tab open. Bring me another fucking Jack and Coke. That one fucking hit me. And so by the time I got home, man, I decided to spark one up. And I started ranting in my stories on Instagram. And and I started talking shit about girls who like do OnlyFans and all that shit, you know? And I'm like,
fuck these women I'm subscribed to. You stupid ass bitches. The
Exact-
fuck you mean $7 for a picture? Fuck you, bitch. Like, I'm gonna pay it, but like, god damn, we're hustling it out here.
so the rant went a little bit like this. I'm like, I'm sorry guys, but I'm gonna go ahead and repeat it myself. For I do not repent. I was basically in a state of melancholy, you know, and I let everybody know that I'm fucking sad. I'm distraught even, and I'll tell you why. Because there's all these women with their Bad Bunny and their, which by the way, again, I'm just giving you guys the backstory. Whoever saw the stories, they saw them, and there's nothing I can do about it.
We know the bottled names: Bad Bunny, me, Khalifa's. We got them all on.
Yes.
Okay.
But with Khalifa or Mia Khalifa?
Both at one time.
Yeah.
That's the good fucking OnlyFans. That one's hard to find.
I'm like, these women with their Bad Bunny and their OnlyFans. I'm like, what the fuck happened to the romantic chicks? You know, the ones that listen to. Did you ever listen to Camila?
Camila?
Yeah.
You remind me.
One of the songs is called "Bésame," "Kiss Me." So
Bésame, bésame mucho. That one from the 1970s.
no, it's,
Oh, okay.
Bésame como si el mundo se acabara después. Like that. So that. First of all.
Oh, but I'm too corny. I'm too fucking romantic and shit. Like I'm the problem here. But
yes.
go ahead, keep going.
Look, Thomas. Like I'm fessing up to my crimes. Okay. I understand. Like you like. When have I disagreed with you this whole podcast? You have been leading this whole fucking show, and I have nothing but I cannot. I just have to sit here and agree with you.
It's weird.
I want to disagree with you. I want to say, no, Thomas, fuck you. Fuck you for everything you stand for and everything you say and do. It's bullshit. Yeah. But I can't because it's not.
It's weird. Once you start smoking pot, you're just such a better person,
you know? More sense, fuck. Dude.
Like now I get what you were saying. You were just saying it like an asshole last time. Fuck.
Listen, so, yeah, I mean, I grew up with this kind of fucking music, you know. So I was programmed to be a hopeless romantic. So there is a little bit of a truth there, you know. The romantic in me dies a little every time I see the way things are today. But that doesn't mean that I don't like Bad Bunny. I love Bad Bunny, and that doesn't mean that I'm not subscribed to all the onlyfans. I am subscribed to all of y'all. So I'm just joking. It's all satire, you know. Like I feel like it's
It wouldn't be satire unless it was really funny, and it wouldn't be really funny unless it was very real.
Can you say that again?
It wouldn't be real satire unless it was really funny, and it wouldn't be really funny unless it was real.
Yeah, exactly. Like I know that I'm not fucking like whoever saw that was probably like, oh man, what the fuck? Where's all this hate coming from? You know, like, yeah, what's up with this guy?
Because it's like no one makes jokes about, you know, trampolines or something. It's like that's not tragic. That's not funny.
Yeah, and so like, to me, it's like, it is a little bit confusing to navigate the way things are now. You know, like, but like I took it one step further. I'm like, and you know what's worse than all? All you females fucking so down to show your fucking butts, but you're never down to give it up.
Well, that's my problem also. Like, right? Fuck. Okay, how does this connect to you getting a female at Western Playland and God parting the seas?
It doesn't.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say she was going to, like, DM you and be like, I'm not like most girls. Oh, yeah, bitch. Let's go do something wholesome. Okay, bet, motherfucker. We'll go to Western Playland. You know, that's what I thought.
No, this was a very pure and loving exchange of two individuals who just wanted to ride the tsunami, you know?
Just a, I bet. But just a loving exchange of fluids and stuff, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It happens in the tsunami, actually.
Well, there was a really good example of that. Complete piece of shit, Ethan Klein is talking to like a bodybuilder.
Wait. Just to, because we're gonna. Is Ethan Klein the guy from H3 podcast?
Yeah.
I gotta say, if we're gonna be fucking shooting shots, if we're gonna be fucking, you know, bringing the heat, I'm glad it's with that guy because I don't fucking like you, dog. You talk a lot of shit about everyone, so it's your turn to get some of this action.
Well, it's a good one because the video clip is like some muscle builder, super fucking like Mr. America or
Dorian Yates or Ronnie Coleman?
I have no idea who they are.
Those are the only two guys that I've seen on a podcast.
Well, one or the other, but super crazy fucking fit. And Ethan Klein, his fat ass is sitting there being all like, so it must be hard because you're not really flexible. And for us fat guys, it's hard. But, you know, your wife's really, you know, muscular. Also, you're really muscular. Like, what position do you have to get in to fuck? Like, what type of, you know, like, how do you have to, like, yoga yourself so you guys could have sex properly? And he responds with, well, first of all, don't ever fucking talk about my wife in that context. And then he ends it. And it's like, yeah, there's that is lost in society because in Ethan Klein's degenerate society, it's like, how do you fuck your wife is a completely reasonable thing to ask a grown-ass fucking gorilla that could kill him at any second.
I feel like,
like even what I said was a bit vulgar, but that's because I'm assuming it's like a new fling. But imagine if it's like a committed
Well, listen,
whatever.
you and me have a rapport.
Yeah.
You and me are friends. We talk shit nonstop. You know, and that's what. By the
But
way, guys, if you have
still,
a friend who talks shit to you and you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you, man.
but it's still like a little over the line because you're telling me about this sentimental, like emotional good thing that you experience, and I'm putting it with like a vulgar exchange fluid type thing.
And
like,
you do that a lot, and again, that's why we had that conversation
you're the
earlier.
same piece of shit as Ethan Klein.
Nah, dude. But let me tell you something. It's all jokes, and that's all jokes. And I understand that you're coming from a joking place, and I don't take myself that serious, you know?
Yeah, but it does peg down.
Because I don't take steroids, and I cannot fuck you up that quickly.
Yeah, but it does it pegs down the idea of our degeneracy and how society is crumbling. And part of that comes from the mutual respect between men and men, you know? It's like these women could be out there and just fucking and stuff, and like, it seems like in some circles, it's like, my girl send me a nude. Oh, yeah, man, let me see it. Here it is, bro. You know, like it's...
If you do that, you're a piece of shit. And I'll be honest with you. I do not want anybody to see my girl naked. The fuck? You know, like, to me, it's not a, like, showing off thing. It's a respect thing. And
But you've seen that culture before, right?
Of course. And I've been...
look my bitch.
Yeah,
and
you know what? I see that with people who have big egos, you know, and they have something to prove. You know, that's why you know, that I don't want to get derailed, but it does happen. Or the guy that wants to show you off his like large hog. Oh no, what happened?
Some protected shield.
Are we still recording? Oh, perfect. Oof. Technology, you love it when it works, though.
Yeah, we talk some shit about Ethan Klein, and they're like, shut him down, those fucking assholes.
No. And let's stay on topic, because I do want to rant about this fucking guy, because I noticed that he's very antagonistic about things that are on, you know, like Andrew Tate has been a big, massive conversation, and he's in everyone's mouth, especially him, and he's always talking about him, how he's misogynist, how he's this, how he's a rapist, whatever the fuck he could come up with. And you know what? I've actually listened to everything, not everything, but a lot of what they both have to say, and it seems like this guy is only caught up on the sound bites. And if you and rightfully so, you need to listen to the full podcast. You know, like I can clip my podcast to make me sound like a complete asshole, because I do say a lot of asshole shit.
I've seen it, because Andrew Tate will be like, haha, fuck those bitches, and that's the clip. But the truth was, haha, fuck those bitches. But no, for reals, you need to take care of your women, and you need to be the man that provides for them. And you're like, okay, he said a spicy joke in the middle of the fucking funny podcast that's supposed to be kind of funny. Like, but then he equated it with, no, we actually need to be real men who provide for women, who step up and be the man that women expect us to be. We can't just expect them to be bitches.
And you know, if I was him, I would probably pivot a little bit and just stray away. He already has everyone's attention. Now drop the content that is really beneficial, like the stuff that has been impacting all these young men who are struggling to find their footing, you know? Because of course, you see this guy with the fast cars, the girls, or as he says, the bitches and the mansions. Like, you're like, well, yeah, why wouldn't I listen to him, you know? Like, but of course he's saying outlandish shit, and I can see through the fucking act. I always saw it through the act. I'm like, this guy's just trying to be funny. He's trying to be scandalous.
Yeah,
and that makes him a genius, because Donald Trump does the same shit. Jake Paul does the same shit. The Paul brothers. And by the way, another guy who's been on against him is Logan Paul, and he's been canceled, and he's over here like advocating for cancel culture, when in reality, I'm not saying have everything uncensored, because that's you're opening Pandora's box. Of course, it's the internet. But goddamn, can't we just have a conversation? And I feel like it is true. Like, we're not necessarily getting too upset at the fact that he's calling bitches or this, that, and the other. We're getting upset because he's making a lot of sense, despite all the stupid shit he's been blurting out. Because I blurred out a lot of shit. A lot of stupid shit.
But it is in that whole in context, because when you get it in context, then it's like, is it offensive or not? And people don't want to listen that far. They just want to be like, he fucking hates women. Did you, like you said, like he talked about raping a woman or something, but it's like, No, the opposite happened, in that he never said he would ever rape a woman, and every woman that supposedly got raped by him has already been public and said, like, no, he treated me very nice and very good, and people are just trying to smear him. I never made that claim.
Yeah, and I watched the Piers Morgan interview. We're talking about different entities, but they're all kind of attacking him, and I sympathize for women. You know, like I understand, like it's been a tough go for them throughout history, and the balance have been equaled, and that's fine. You know, like I've made some weird remarks about like today's generation and the way the dynamic is between men and women. And I believe that we should stay to our roots and to what works. Let's build families, because families build communities, communities build cities, cities build, etc. You know, let's focus on that. Let's not get hung up on the club. Let's not get too hung up on the Bad Bunnies and making money. Like yes, you girls have so much potential, and most of you guys are smarter than me and could be better at everything than me nowadays. You know, you guys have the same opportunities, but the problem is that like I cannot have children. I cannot pop out babies, and I want to see a world where there's strong families, not broken families, broken homes with baby daddies that are gone and baby mamas that are drug addicts. And it's just bad when that happens.
So there's an interview when the guy goes up to a woman and his daughter, and he says, you know, are you okay with women in this day and age, you know, doing OnlyFans? And the mom's like, oh yes, it's women empowerment, and you know they're making money, and there's nothing wrong with that. And if guys get to get paid more in Hollywood, why not girls on porn? And you know that's not a bad thing if that's what, you know, anyone decides to do. That's just them doing their career. And then they ask the daughter, you look 18, how old are you? And she's like, I'm 22. And they're like, we'll pay you what I call $3,000 right now to do a OnlyFans photo shoot and to create an account. Would you like to do it? And she's like, yeah. And the mom's like, she's joking, of course. And the girl's like, Mom, that's $3,000 for just a few pictures, and you're okay with OnlyFans? What's wrong? She's joking. She's joking. Let's leave. Because obviously the mom has a great grievance against her own daughter being in pornography, but whenever she has to culturally
assimilate,
answer a question, her answer is, oh yeah, it's empowering. It's like, well, here's the power. Here's $3,000. You tell me right now, I'll get this camera and we'll shoot on OnlyFans, and I'll give you $3,000 cash in hand. I'll be like, I guess I'm taking off my shirt, you know, because fuck, $3,000. Like, think how much it takes you to get $3,000 together, you know. But it's that twist, because it's like mommy woke is, of course, anyway, it's beautiful. They're making money. They're Hollywood stars. How beautiful. Okay, let your daughter that's standing right there do it. Oh, wow, that must be a joke.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that argument with marijuana, you know. A mother can be okay with the medicinal uses of it all and the recreational use maybe. But if their children, if she's old-fashioned, if their children is fucking smoking pot, then that's an issue, you know.
Yeah, that's needed for all those other broken children, not my kids.
Exactly. And you know, just bringing it all full circle, you know, I see people like Ethan, and he's such an antagonist, you know. But I watched this Piers Morgan interview with Andrew Tate, and let me tell you, I left with a bad taste in my mouth, because they both kind of like they were being anti-Semitic in the end, and Piers Morgan is not a great interviewer. He interrupts a lot, and I interrupt you, but I'm not interviewing you. We're talking, right? So I rewatch my podcast. I'm like, oh, I should probably let their ideas develop more, you know. And Jordan Peterson interviewed Piers Morgan after the fact, and I came to the conclusion that, like, okay, it's a persona. It's all a persona. And me, myself, right here, it's a persona. You yourself here, it's a persona. And unfortunately, he is in a environment where he has to be antagonistic, interrupt people, and just press the matter. And that's why it's a dynamic way to portray drama, but it's not a very it's not a viable way to get information out. Like the clear, concise thing that's on your mind.
Yeah, it's not an honest conversation because the question is like, Andrew Tate, it's been said that, or you've said that, fuck women, they're all bitches. Why are you such a horrible person? And it's like, that's not an honest conversation at all. Like, and then Andrew Tate, has to come back with like, I'm on this show that a lot of people who don't usually see me are gonna see. I need to get my name out there and do something crazy and cool so they'd be like, oh, I'm gonna look into this guy and pay for his whatever the fuck course. You know, he's also hustling his job and his celebrity, so he also has to come back and be dishonest by being outlandish.
Well, 2 points were made that actually I was like, wow, that is true. For one, why isn't Little Nas getting canceled for fucking twerking on the devil and doing shit like that? Like
human blood in his shoes and all that shit.
Dude, honestly, I don't care. I don't care if he is like yourself. You know, you're a homosexual man and you're still one of my best friends. That yeah. I'm not anti anything. What I'm saying is, like, why is that okay? Like, even if it's okay, as you say, as it's been determined, who is making these decisions? Because why is that information out? Well, why are those images out for my child to see, but I cannot have, like, let's say down the line I have a boy, I have a son, and I would like for him to listen to a little bit of what Andrew Tate has to say. Not all of it, but like, I think I would raise him smart enough to discern what is the message and what is just like.
But I could run the same game again because you just said like there might not be something wrong with homosexuality, but I would say, okay, I'll give you the same interview. You'll say that bullshit, and then I'll ask you, okay, so let's say you have a kid. It wouldn't bother you if we just inject a little fluid and turn him gay?
Yeah, of course it would bother me.
Yeah, it's a bad thing. It's not a good thing at all, and that's like the duality of like the culturally love who you want to love. But
well, listen, that's been a bumpy road in our friendship too because of your homosexuality, because it changes my way of seeing things.
And I'm the fucking homophobic one saying how horrible it is.
Yeah,
Shit.
but like I you have to understand that, like, whether it's right or wrong, I still see you as a human being.
Yeah,
you know, yeah. I'm not like gay. You know, like, you are gay and other fucking things.
That's what makes the money. That's what the controversy makes the money. The whole everyone hates gay people, and it's like, no, the opposite's true. Like, I've been annoyed on dates where I like sit down and I'm having a date and it's awkward, and then someone comes up, you guys make such a cute couple together. I'm glad you're out in the open. I'm gonna pay for your meals. And I'm like, bitch, this is awkward enough. Like, get the fuck out of here. But she's showing support. But it's like,
well, I wonder because whether it was a genuine thing or not, like, I wonder how much of it is virtual signaling, you know, like, can you kid yourself? Can you dilute yourself into believing that you are standing for something larger than yourself, something virtuous, when in reality it's something completely opposite? You know, it's a lie. What is going on with Kanye West? What is this shit with the Black Lives Matter and White Lives Matter situation?
So you can kid yourself, and the way you do that is you never meditate. You never think about the things you think of. You never truly scrutinize yourself. You're just like, I'm on the right track, baby. I was born this way. You know, just like conclusive, like, fuck off everyone else in the world, you know? I
did make fun of those people too. I'm like, and you know what? I checked all you motherfuckers' fucking Instagram pages, and your fucking tags, I am king. Yes, I'm that bitch. I'm her. And it's like, I make fun of them, but of course I'm a fucking hypocrite. I am the warrior poet. What the fuck is that? Oh my God. Oh. You know, we are all fucking grandiose in our fucking eyes. Like, right now I'm looking in the mirror, I'm like, God damn, like, I wouldn't want to be anybody else, you know? But that's just because, like
okay, Andrew, I need to use the restroom. You go off.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
For real, you're going? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I scared you off with my ultimate, undeniable confidence. Yeah. But you have to understand that, like, if I'm making fun of you, I'm making fun of myself. You know, it's all jokes, and we should all be friends. Of course, Black Lives Matter. I have plenty of people that have been of color that I appreciated. They were great people, but I didn't see them as African American or black or whatever the fuck is the correct way to, you know, point finger, you know? Like, what are you gonna call me, you know? What are you gonna fucking label me as, you know? I think we are all at liberty to choose who we want to be, you know? And if you want to be non-binary or everything, I respect all of that, you know? Like, I don't want to make you feel attacked or like it's a act of violence against your sexuality, you know? Even though I didn't punch you, even though I didn't physically hurt you, I just said some words, you know? So everybody's kind of soft. Everybody's kind of soft in that sense, you know? They cannot take criticism. Oof. Not today, brother. This motherfucker wants me to drink on every podcast. Remember when that was the case? I would be fucked up on every podcast.
Drink on every podcast? I was offering you water, bro. You need to get hydrated. I don't know what
I have water.
About. So,
my lips are chapped.
So I left off with you're greater than the rice industry in China or something? What was that?
At least. Okay. At the very least.
Fuck.
So, I don't mean to brag, but that jasmine shit that you got in a bag doesn't hold a candle. I'm just saying that, like, when I make fun of a certain thing, I am most likely making fun of myself. You know, that's why I'm comfortable talking shit, you know, because I understand that, like, I know it's towards me, you know.
It's called projection. It's
exactly. I'm just projecting my fucking insecurities to y'all. Don't worry. You guys can fucking proceed with your OnlyFans and bumping that fucking Bad Bunny shit.
Yeah, but
you know?
If we weren't insecure about it wouldn't matter, you know.
And you know what, bro? Like
I don't care about car looks because I used to drive a Toyota Echo. So some guy comes in a beat up piece of shit, and I'm like, it works. Like, I don't look down on that. Whereas other people would look at that and be like, look at that piece of shit car. He bought it for $100 off Craigslist. What a fucking asshole.
Well, I suppose that also has to do, again, projection. You know, like we all kind of assimilate, or not assimilate, but we just we covet what we covet.
Yeah.
So like if I like shoes, I'm gonna look at your shoes, and if you're wearing flip flops, I'm gonna be like, what the fuck, you know? Yeah. And same thing with the car situation.
Well, it's like going to Walmart and be like, you call these golden apples. I've seen better at the
the Sprouts.
Yeah, you're not fucking
Whole
committed
Foods.
to apples. You're just like, okay, apples, whatever. Like, you won't scrutinize them, but when things that you are, it's ridiculous.
Well, again, duality. How much humility has to live within the individual, and how much ambition and need to be a refined one. How do you balance both sides, you know? Because I do feel like you could fall into materialism real easily and lose yourself in that, but you could be overtly humble, and that could be a form of virtue signaling, but that's a whole different conversation. But just be so humble that you don't achieve anything in life and you don't have anything to your name.
It's a weird trait because it's like we were talking about last time about my ex or whatever who's a girl, and it's like maybe that relationship worked out well because I wasn't like intimidated or I wasn't scared at all. I was just living my honest me, you know? Whereas if I was truly attracted to her and really wanting to get her as a wife, I'd be like nervous and I'd be like, is this okay? Is that okay?
Wow.
You know?
But you know what? You just...
But instead I go to the restaurant and I'm, you fucking bitch, don't you ever do that. Don't you Karen out like Jesse did at the pizza place or whatever the fuck. You need to get in line, girl.
Brother.
Right?
Brother. If anybody's listening to anything that we just said, and if there's a takeaway, there it is. If you're in a relationship and you want it to last, be yourself. And if it doesn't last, it wasn't meant to be. Because the moment you start, like you say, being concerned what the other half has to say, instead of just being authentic and genuine, you're gonna come across as a phony, and nobody likes a phony. And I've been guilty of that, you know.
Yeah, I was attracted to the mask last night, but today you woke up and took it off, and that's not really what I want in life.
Yeah, and if you just come barefaced, as you say, from the get-go, they get to choose whether you're sufficient enough or not. Yeah. You know, and if you're not, in their eyes, that doesn't make you any less either. That just means that you're not for her, and that's fine. That's completely fine, and you should appreciate the honesty, you know, because you don't want to fucking marry somebody that doesn't fucking love you, and then they're fucking off on the side, you know?
Yeah, and they have these expectations, and they're like, "You're doing this, but I thought you were this motherfucker, but you ain't." Like, what the fuck are you then? You know, because I agreed on the terms of you are this, but 2 months into it, and you're actually this.
And I blame The Art of Seduction for that. Robert Greene, you're a genius, but I didn't follow your instructions properly. So yeah, I consummated the seduction, and I reseduced the victim several times, but the spell has been broken. And according to the book, I don't believe in it, quite frankly. But according to the book, once the spell is broken, depending on the situation, you cannot recast it. You know,
Yeah.
but
It.
a little bit of time won't hurt anybody.
I don't know if I said this, but Andrew Tate kind of says it, and it's like, you want a woman to be a traditional woman, but it's like, where the fuck are the men then? Because it's
That's true.
yeah, it goes back and forth. Did I say it in the last one? Because I was so messed up.
No, and I think this is the first time we actually like hit this topic, and I don't want to be talking about the mainstream stuff, but I mean it's in everybody's mouth, but yeah, that's right. Like, I'm over here complaining about bitches on OnlyFans, but what the fuck am I doing? Like, why am I not a traditional man with my fucking house and my fucking everything? Like, why don't I why can I just set myself as a traditional man to attract a traditional woman?
Yeah, it is that, because
Instead
it's
of
like,
complaining.
why are you complaining about OnlyFans? How do you know the actual model names? What are you, and that's also it's a reverse. It's always a reverse. And that's the duality that you're talking about, because we have two sides of the brain. So that's the duality you're talking about, because it's like, one side you could be very strong at, so you're very logical and reasonable and whatever, but the other side you're very emotional, and it's like, where's the middle ground? Because you don't like this degeneracy, but you're paying into it.
Of course, yeah, and I feel like, I cannot speak for everyone, but me personally, I guess it's just like it doesn't make sense in my subconscious mind. I guess like deep down in my mind, I'm like, this isn't the way it should be. Like the disconnect. Like, yeah, I'm there. Like, I'm seeing you, but I'm not there, and the disconnect really fucks the whole thing up. Like, the sexual experience should be something divine, I think. And I'm gonna flower my speech a little, but I think it should be something private and something like fun, of course, but when you involve money in anything, that's where the devil lies. And I'm just gonna leave it at there.
Well, it's because, like, if you want to talk sexually, man and female, the female is supposed to feel nurtured and provided for by you. She's supposed to look up to you and, look for you for leadership and guidance. But she doesn't, a lot of times, they don't look up to you or look up to anyone, because it's kind of like, ain't no man gonna tell me what the fuck I'm gonna do. But it's like, that would actually be very gratifying for her to be like, can I do this? Can I, like, to have that whole, like, you're the substantiary of our family, of our household. Can we afford this thing? Is this permissible? Because the finances, and if shit goes wrong, your ass is gonna be working the 15-hour days, not me.
Okay, and I'll be fair to the world and that we live in. I'll propose this. Maybe the reason why women are so empowered or so eager to be empowered, maybe the reason why women they don't essentially need a man, but we'll get into that because you do, but because we failed them for so long, and we fucked off for so long, and we got so soft and weak for so long, that they have no choice but to be strong and independent and not need any fucking flaky ass man. I am a flaky ass man. That's why I failed miserably at family. Unfortunately, and I'm not gonna fucking get into my own personal shit, but it is true. It is fucking true, and it bothers me so much that, like, I know this truth, and it's like, I want to blame environment. I want to blame circumstance, but it's like, no, it's your fucking fault, dude.
Yeah, the only thing in common with all your problems is you.
Exactly. And we're not taking responsibility for any of our mishaps or shortcomings. We want to point the finger. Yeah, it's fucking women. They don't want to fucking go to bed with me.
Yeah, it's that
It's like,
other
but
thing.
why? Why don't they want to go to bed with you, dude?
Yeah, well, maybe they go to bed with you if you could provide a fucking ring once in a while, you know?
Yeah.
And that was the old Bible on the table standard. The whole, like, we've had this relationship for so long. I want to fuck you to the point that you have a baby and I'm going to provide for those babies. How am I going to prove that to you? By a piece of gold, by something wealthy. I could provide for you because at the very least, you sell that piece of gold and you leave me for not fulfilling my promise of being a man. That little piece of gold is an endowment ring. And it's like, if some shit happens and I'm not the man I need to be, your last object with me is to sell that precious piece of gold to provide yourself to find a real man.
And it's all fair. It's all fair in love and war. I keep saying that because, man, I could be resentful, and every man who's been more or less through the same situation, you can be resentful because you're like, fucking bitch, I gave you everything, my heart. What the fuck? Love doesn't pay the bills, guys. And if you're worried about getting laid and you cannot pay the bills, maybe you should be worried about something else. You know?
So like my ex Tanya, like, it's like, how did it get to the point that the dad's offering you condoms and beers and money? And it's like, well, it came to a point earlier where, you know, I would be at Tanya's house and the mom was there and I was just waiting for Tanya to come. And then she'd talk to me and she'd be like, oh yeah, it's really hard. They haven't given us so many hours at work, so we're going to see how we're going to pay the whatever. And I'd be like, what do you need to pay? And she'd be like, oh, the mortgage is going to come out a little bit much. And I'm like, oh, well, give it to me. I'll pay for this one and you guys just pay me back. And they're like, you're going to pay our mortgage? I was like, yeah, I could provide for a household. Like, how much is it? And it was like 900 and something. I'm like, I guess I'm paying for it because it needs to get paid. You guys just pay me back whenever. Mm-hmm. And that, like, switches the mom's mind because the mom's mind is like, this fucking fat piece of shit trying to have sex with my daughter. She's beautiful and he's a fucking piece of shit. But then it's like, he's willing to pay the mortgage? How many fuckboys come over and, like, I'll pay the fucking mortgage? Like, and then that's where it gets to a point that it's like, you know what? You need to go to that boy, buy him 36 beers and fucking give him money and condoms. And it's like, what the fuck? Because it's a different perspective. It's like, we need that guy pegged down because times are tough and he could actually pay the mortgage if shit comes to whatever, you know? Not some random fuckboy who's going to come over and, you know, honk outside the door and drive her off to a cheap ass movie and have fucking sex, you know? Like,
I do want to thank you for getting on the podcast and just bestowing your wisdom. And this is not satire. This is not funny. This is serious. Because, you know, you're opening my eyes for a lot of things, and I'm able to discern hidden truths. And if a man wants to get married to a woman, you know, you need to follow the steps. You cannot skip the steps. You know, I skipped all the steps, to be honest, you know. But
having sex on day one?
Yeah. I fucking have your fucking money. Have your roof over your head so you could excuse me. So you could provide shelter and the money for food and everything else. And then afterwards, you don't seduce the woman. You seduce the mom.
Well, yeah. I mean, of course.
In a non-erotic way, of course.
They always told you Stacy's mom has got it going on.
Yeah,
like,
dude. You're not going to
That's where you need to work it.
That is a great way to get divorced before you get married. But you entice her to vouch for you and, you know, be on your side. Because what happens...
That's the biggest hurdle, the evil fucking mom.
Yeah, because it always happens, you know. Your girl goes to mom's house or she's on the phone with mom and they're having a heart-to-heart, and then you come up in the conversation, and guess what? You're not good enough he's not good enough for you, daughter.
But if you paid the mortgage, it's like, pues mija,
I know he's a fuck boy.
He might be a little chubby. He's not as pretty as you, but he paid the mortgage last month, and like some guys out here aren't even gonna buy you a McDouble. Like,
allow the situation to simmer down and try to fix things with Tommy boy. He's a good man, god damn it.
They tell your mom he's a good man, don't leave him. He's man. He made the ravioli. You know, yeah, but that's the truth, because in our spiritual sense of like I need love and affection, there's the carnal sense of like I need Ooga Booga to go get meat, and Ooga Booga's a fucking bitch that doesn't know how to use an axe. Like I don't want Ooga Booga, you know. I want the other guy who could actually kill the fucking lion once in a while.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the duality.
It's so fucking complex, but if you simplify things, then you could breathe a little bit easier, you know? Yes. Marry somebody you love, and women marry somebody that can take care of you, and everything will be fine. On paper, it should be, you know?
Yeah.
Because if you love each other, I believe that if you truly, truly love someone, of course, we're human, you know, but the whole being unfaithful situation, like temptation's everywhere, but you will refrain from any situation that arises
If you love that other person.
Exactly. You know, because I've been on both sides of the fence where I don't love somebody, and it's like I don't give a fuck.
So love to me is like Kool-Aid. How can I say it? Love to me is like Kool-Aid. You need so much sugar and you need so much packet. The water is obvious because we're all made of water. But you need a certain amount of sugar and a certain amount of the Kool-Aid packet. And different people love with different proportions, you know. If I put 1 sugar or 1 Kool-Aid, you might think it's weak sauce. You're the type that wants 3 sugar with 1 Kool-Aid, you know. But they're both necessary. And it's like that level of responsibility and spiritual connection to a woman as well as the physical, because it's like some women want 20% physical, 80% spiritual. Some women, they care mostly about the physical and want 10% spiritual. You know, it's not like you have to love people the way they want to be loved so that they can reciprocate. Because if I have 100% physical, but you don't care about that at all, truly don't care about that, then I ain't got shit on you.
Yeah, and I think that's the mistake that we all fall into. You know, like we're so self-centered again, and that we want to project the way we loved, and that's how we love. You know, when in reality, if you're a consummate seducer, you would analyze your victim, and you would see what makes her tick, what she likes, what she doesn't like, what way of speaking, and in reality, that's just being attentive, you know. That's just paying attention and not being so self-absorbed.
So it's hard, but it's a concept of input output. Our bodies are made for input. Our bodies, this is made for light to come in. This is made for warmth and feeling to come in. There's very few places on your body that's made for output. And okay. I mean, there's 2 places in particular that are made for output: your lips and one other part of a guy. Understood. Right? So because of that input-output type scenario, that duality in man, that also affects how we think spiritually and lovingly, because it's like whenever it's just me and my flaws, I'm doing a lot of outputting. I'm doing a lot of showing my insecurities and stuff. But when I don't care about myself and I just enjoy the inputs of other people, then I treat them better, because it's like I'm not about my insecurities and my wants and my needs. It's like you're looking at the input, you're looking at the movie, and you'll be like, damn, they didn't brush their teeth today. Oh, they didn't get that haircut, or they did get that haircut. Hey, they're trimming up, they're looking at, they're feeling better. You know, you're analyzing them instead, and in that way you make a more loving, better relationship, because then they have a little bit of time to analyze you.
Right.
Because it's like, if he noticed that in me, maybe I should start noticing him. Maybe he's more important. Maybe, and in that way, I find you important, you find me important, we come together. Whereas if I only found me important, and I was just using the other person for sex or whatever, then it wouldn't be magnetic.
Yeah, I couldn't have put it any better than that. In reality, I don't know what we have done to the word love. I don't know what we have done to relationships as a whole, because, you know, another point that was brought up in the whole Piers Morgan and Andrew Tate interview was he made a remark about how a 25-year-old woman is less desirable or even attractive because she has been through more men or more life experience, really, to be more general, really.
Yeah.
Because I mean, age is a good parameter to see what you've been through, you know. But there's plenty of 25-year-olds who have probably never even seen a penis, you know. But he's arguing that a 25-year-old woman is less attractive than an 18-year-old woman. Why? Because the virginity esque situation, and you know, that was called out as misogynist, and you know, the argument was that it's ageist maybe, but not misogynist, etc. The point is that I understood Andrew, and I feel like people refrain from understanding him because he's insulting 25-year-old women. I don't think if any 25-year-old woman gets upset, it's probably because she's really been through a lot of men, you know. If you're just a virgin or you've had a long time boyfriend, you're gonna be like, yep, not me, next, you know.
But what Andrew's saying is completely true and exactly what we were saying all along, because it's like, you are an expert baker. You've tried every cake in the world, the top Michelin star, everything, right? And I come to you and I'm like, I baked a chocolate cake for you. And you're like,
right.
You know, because it's like, you've experienced so many chocolate cake dicks. Sorry, I
had to be chocolate.
I had
too.
something in my throat. You experience so much chocolate cake that whenever you get like the vanilla pound cake, you're like, nah, it ain't working. You know, like shit. Like, but if the vanilla pound cake's all you've ever tried in cake, you'll be like, fucking phenomenal. I could be with this for life. But if it's like you've had Michelin 5-star chocolate cake before, you're like, come on.
Yeah, this doesn't faze me, bro.
And it's like the wanting, because I've seen very pretty girls with guys, and like they fuck those guys up, and I'm sitting there like, bro, you have balls, like tell the bitch no. But it's like, she's hot as fuck, so he's like, I can't lose this. But he's doing stupid shit. Like, I've seen guys actually like open like doors for girls, like in the old way, but like not even like nice. Like, she'll sit there and she'll be like, and then he'll come around and open the door. You know, she's like, why didn't you fucking do it faster?
Right.
And it's like, what the fuck? Like, bro, leave her ass. She's a bitch. But it's like, yeah, but she's hot. You could tolerate so much more because she's hot. And you would.
And us men, and I think women understand this more than anything any man could. We're masochists. We like to throw ourselves into the fire and see how long we can stand there. You know? And if we can find some sort of challenge in our relationship, even though we don't like it, perhaps our inherent manliness, the whole overcoming the situation takes over, and you're not realizing that you're getting like this little addictive cycle of like, I have to overcome this to become a better man, or etc., you know. But overcome like yourself, you know, overcome, you know, like that bench press situation that you need I don't know, like it's just so sad, you know. It's just so sad that like we put so much effort on something that doesn't need any effort. It should just flow.
It's because you've had so many flavors of women, but that woman is a 5-star Michelin. So you're willing to put up with the high price tag on that shit. Whereas if McDonald's tried to serve you the same food, you'd be like, yeah, but this is McDonald's. Like, you know? So I'm not going to pay no $500 for a slice of cake. But Michelin 5-star restaurant, you're like, okay, my wallet's becoming a little looser.
Dog, imagine being so fucking rich, like balling to the point that you're getting dessert and you get one slice of cake for $500 for baby girl. No, that's ballsy, that's manly, and that's what she. I mean, it's not greed anymore. At this point, it's just let's all be ambitious. You know, I do want to give. I don't know what kind of content this is, to be honest with you. Like, everybody's like, what do you guys talk about? And I'm like, I have no idea. You know,
it keeps going and going and going.
It never stops though. That's the scary part.
No, that whole duality of love. I made a part of a podcast. I recorded one too many podcasts for you today. So. Shit.
Yeah, 15 it was.
I don't know what it was, but there's one on the idea of the whole like, you know, give and take of love, and how you need to love someone how they want to be loved. Because if you don't, they won't love you. No matter how good you are in other lives. You know, someone else likes that type of love a lot, but you're not trying to impress someone else. You're trying to impress this one person who might not.
Right. So choosing a partner is difficult for that reason, because everybody has their proclivities and their character. And is there a question of like, I see it, I want it, I get it, or just allow destiny to put. I mean, this is the whole point of like, I hear a lot of religious people talking about like, oh, God made us cross our paths. And that sounds like beautiful in and of itself. But, you know, as a young man, you find yourself chasing skirts, that's what it's all about, the hit the gym heavy, maybe go out and have a drink and dance. It's not, it's all should be lighthearted, but I feel like we're in a very loosey-goosey situation where it's serious. And it's like, okay, it's this loosey-goosey, it should not be this serious, like, what would be serious? Women denouncing us completely, that sound the alarm.
MGTOW.
Yeah,
This
but
ain't a MGTOW. Shit.
is that what I think that's still empowerment for men. No,
Men
right?
going their own way. Yeah.
No, but men are not. I would never denounce a woman, and because women are so fucking awesome, I'm not gonna talk about their beautiful curves and their etc. I just think like, I mean, I was raised by my mother, and I have plenty of sisters, more than enough. So a lot of women that I love, and I don't think I would want a world without them, much less the women that I see on a daily basis, whether I know them or not. We need them, but we need them to understand us, and we need them to help us understand them. Like, I'm waving the white flag. I'm cool if you want to do you, but I am suggesting that while I'm becoming a better man, don't become a whore. Seriously, like,
you said that so philosophically. Well, if I'm becoming a better man, don't become a whore. Stupid bitch. Fuck off, you stupid cunt. Whore ass bitch. I'm a better man. What the fuck are you doing? So they're here.
No, yeah, because can you imagine, like, the love of your life, whoever it is out there sucking dick, and you're here doing push-ups and trying to be the best person you can be. You guys meet each other. You don't know, because that's another argument that he has, like having your body count on your forehead.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that might actually help vet my girl. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm like 20, 10.
I know, but when she looks like that, like, what the fuck you think?
I mean,
Like, come on.
I'm like, I understand.
If she smells like Doritos and has a 0, well, that makes sense. But if she looks like that, like, fuck, like.
Yeah, you're like 100, man. Okay, you're hot. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I'll be able to put up with that because of your hotness. But
you're not gonna fall in love with her. You like that's what I was thinking. Like, all these women who are giving themselves not to one man, not to two men, but to the whole fucking world. There's gonna be a time when they do want to be treated with genuine love, and I don't think I can genuinely love you if I, in the back of my head, I feel like not only you have a history and you have a past, but you might have a future still. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Like,
yes, because there was an event. Tanya, the same girl, we went to the movies.
Do you think she will mind if you name drop her, or should I blurt this out?
No, she won't.
No?
It's a random name.
Okay.
So
she's like, wow, random?
You stupid fucking asshole.
Dude, honestly, you just keep swish.
Oh, well, I was gonna say that we got out of the movie theater, cherry Coke, popcorn, the ticket, whatever. And we got back to my car and I asked her, "Hey, do you like it? Did you like the movie? Was it cool? It's a movie." And she sits there and looks me in the eyes for like, I don't know, like 10, 20 seconds.
It got awkward.
Yeah, and she's like, "It's too expensive, and all I really want to do is spend time with you." And I'm like, and I could see that like feminine like want and desire in her eyes.
That's how they get you, though.
Yeah, and I'm like, I could see how that could be attractive because it's like she's like her desires are for me, and that's like wow, that's crazy. Because with guys, it's like yeah, bro, I'm not gonna go over that. Sounds lame as fuck, you know. But with her, she's like I don't even want to spend your money. I just want to spend time with you. I'm like you temptress bitch, you know. Like
I might just go all the way.
yeah, but it's like that
Did you-
beauty is from women, and you wouldn't look at another guy like that and be like, I just want to spend time with you and not waste your money.
Brother, but did you ever get to the point, because maybe not, because like you say, you are capable to love somebody in a non-sexual or erotic what have you way.
Yeah.
Did it get to that point with her? Like did you find some friendship?
Oh yeah. Oh no, there was plenty of love.
Yeah.
She was very good. She was a very good person. I would still be friends with her if it wasn't for the romance, because she'd always want the romance, and that would be fucked up. Like, let's go out, and now she'd be paying because she has so much fucking money, and then it'd be like, I'm not really interested in you like that.
I've definitely ruined a lot of great friendships with romance. It's just a bad idea. If you appreciate, because there's this question of like men and women cannot be friends. Is that true? I don't know, but I've had female friends in the past, and with some of them, it just got out of hand, and now we're not friends, and we don't talk, and
I think the true answer is that you can't have friendship when there's a sexual attraction.
Okay.
I think that's the true answer.
I think that's a good way to put it.
Because like I've had friends who I'm sexually attracted to, and those friendships kind of end because I'm like, okay, this is awkward, you know. But then I've had friends that I have none, and it goes on forever, and it's like, yeah, but you're gay, so you can't have friends with a straight guy. I'm like, no, I don't think that's how it works. I think it's attraction. I think any guy could be friends with a girl if they're not attracted. You're friends with like the secretary or the nurse or whatever, like any other person that you're not attracted to. But if you are, there's always gonna be that underlying like, maybe I could get my foot in the door.
And that'd be cool. And it would be cool if we can all be friends. I can't believe we're like that's kind of like what it's coming down to. Like, I just want to be your friend, man.
Can we all be friends?
Yeah. It really is coming down to that. Dude, all of these little groups of people that just like to bundle next to each other and flip the bird to the other group. Why can't we just be friends? Like, we've already had a history of blood shed, beheadings, scalpings, executions, hangings, everything. Crucifixion. We crucified the fucking prophet just so he can rise and tell us to be friends and love each other. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? Now we have to say, because I am Mexican, my life is worth more than yours, and you should fucking pay attention to me. No, we're fucking human. We are all fucking contending with our own shit, and I empathize, but at the same time, let's get real with each other. Most of the problems are within ourselves, not your neighbor, not the person, not a fucking Andrew Tate. Bro, the world was, to me, the world is still the same, with or without Andrew Tate, without Trump, with or without the fucking virus, the pandemic. I don't give a fuck, dude. To me, the shit still smells like shit. The roses still smell like roses.
So there's a here. When you breathe into it,
oh fuck no,
point up. No, why not?
Because it might fuck me.
It
over
worked
too.
like twice, but you have to like hold it up.
This motherfucker gives me one of his fucking disposables, and
they're legal, okay? I don't want to commit felonies.
I'm not saying you're committing a crime. I'm just saying what happened was you gave me one of these bullshits, and it was clogged. So I hit it like a champ, and I don't know what the fuck is. I don't think we should be smoking this. I don't know what's in here, but some of it got in my mouth and it's still in there. It's sticky as fuck. It's like super glue. We're smoking this, guys.
Okay, I finally start using pot that's legal, and now you're gonna turn chip and be
okay,
like, we need to not do drugs. Drugs are bad.
Calm down, Mr. Diet Coke. It's not really Coke. It's Coke Zero.
Yeah, it's a diet brand.
No. It's like, get the fuck out of here. Then what the fuck is it? Then why do you like it so much?
Back in the day, they didn't make no Delta 8, fucking cocaine. So I don't know why the fuck you complaining. Fuck off. Goddamn. It's where like you hold it up and it's like this fluid comes down and like burns or something. I don't know how it works. You see it worked.
It worked.
You should be better than me at this. Okay, so the story was there's a white supremacist, racist, misogynistic fucking meme, and it's called Pepe. Have you heard of the Pepe?
Yeah, dude.
And all it is a fucking. He looks like a fucking kindergarten frog. He always has like shit stains, and he's always like all crying and sad. And he's like, "Why can't we be friends?" Like that's what it is. Like, but there's so much truth in it that it pisses them off because that's what they don't have. They don't have real friendships. Every friendship's like, "Oh, hey, Craig, did you go to the BLM march and eat vegan?" Like it's all fake shit, you know. And it's a lot. It's like the waitress at Great American told us. I've never seen anyone sit here and talk without their phone.
Dude, that to me concerned me quite a bit because she is. How many people is she serving on average on a daily basis?
I mean, I give 20-something rides, and mine takes a while, but her, hundreds every day.
At least, right?
Yeah, a lot.
And so,
it's a big-ass restaurant.
and is if for her, us just speaking as we are speaking right now, which, by the way, that's why we're recording a podcast, because we can't shut the fuck up. But if we are talking like normal human beings, face-to-face, eating our lunch or dinner, and for the waitress to think that's an anomaly, what the fuck is everyone else doing?
Yeah.
Everyone's just fucking taking pictures of their fucking food and posting it on their story and saying, wow, living the life. And then after the fact, you don't put it down. You start looking at everyone else's stories. Huh? What, Dad? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Mm. No comments. No comment. That mental picture just...
Oh, yeah, Dad? Cancer? That's crazy. Can I take my Game Boy to the funeral so I'm not bored? Right?
Right.
That's what it is. What it is. It's very scary, but it's even scarier because I work as Ubers, and sometimes I have real conversations with passengers, and they're crying in the back seat, saying that they've never had a conversation like that, and I'm like, I'm the fucking taxi. Like, I'm no one in your life, and you're right here spilling the beans and telling me you're cheated and you feel bad because 20 years ago you did it and you still think about the other woman, and I'm like, I'm the Uber. Like, it costs a lot less than a therapist, I guess, but like, if no one in your life, if you don't have any other man in your life to talk about these serious things, it's very scary.
I would be a 1-star Uber driver. If they start pulling that shit, I'd be like, listen, man, I'm going to start charging you a little bit more. You're going to have to leave a big tip if you want some advice. And me, quite frankly, I kind of just want to focus on my ride, listen to my music. I don't want to talk to you. You're drunk. It's 3 a.m. Go to sleep. And then I just fucking start blasting some Metallica. I said, go to sleep. But she left me. She cheated on me. Sleep it off. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I'd be a fucked up fucking Uber driver.
Yeah, I mean, but sometimes it's like they say it themselves. I have never talked to anyone like that so personally, so intimately, and it's just like people do live out here. You know, there's a sad one where like a girl's videotaping like, I fucked up his shit. You know, he ain't shit. He thinks he's shit. He ain't shit. Because he, like, in the morning called her a name or something. And he, like, she destroyed all his shit. And she was, like, recording, like, haha. And he's all like, you destroyed my PS5. And she's like, yeah, because you need to start spending more time with me. And then he says, that's all I have. Because in his universe, in his manly brain, he doesn't have a girlfriend that loves him. He doesn't have a roommate. All he has is that video game that he goes into and talks to his friends. That's all he has. And she just destroyed it. And she's saying, you're not enough still. And he's like, and he says it in the most pathetic voice, that's all I have. Where it's like, that's true. Some people work their fucking 40 hours a day or 40 hours a week and then double overtime to make money. And at the end of the day, they fall asleep in bed and they don't have anything real. Everything is just, that's all I have. All I have is the Spider-Man video game that I could voice chat with people. All I have is the little achievements, and if I get 17,000 splunkins, then I get the little gold medal. That's all they have.
Yeah. But it's all in your mentality too, you know, like if that's where you're at in life, then you need to broaden your scope and understand that like perhaps you shouldn't look at what other people have that are more blessed, for you know, for a lack of a better word. You know, I think when you look at impoverished communities, like I drive I've driven to Mexico like about 2 years ago, and it gave me perspective, you know, like is fuck you all laters.
Would